Well, let's talk to Omar Baddar, the Deputy Director of the Arab American Institute in Washington, D.C. He joins me now live. Welcome to the program. We've heard attacks on Iran and the nuclear deal and attacks on Mahmoud Abbas, much the same as the last few years, but there was little or no mention of how Israel plans to resolve the conflict.
That's right. In a sense, the speech was really typical. There was a lot of pandering. There was one throwaway line about peace with the Palestinians. But at this point, given what policy has been like for the past few years, it's clear that he does not take that rhetoric seriously, and he's just using it basically as a fig leaf. It's the one throwaway line that you have to put in to pretend that you care about peace. But yeah, the focus was about Iran. The obsession with Iran was definitely there. Now, what's different this time around is the fact that Netanyahu is dealing with a scandal, and he's also working closely with an administration and a U.S. president who's also dealing with scandals of his own. So there is a bit more danger in that they might actually pursue a more confrontational path with Iran to try to distract from their own internal problems. So that really raises the stakes a little bit, and it's unpredictable how that actually plays out.
The Trump administration has no doubt emboldened Netanyahu by declaring Jerusalem the capital of Israel and setting a date for the opening of an embassy there. Does he have reason to negotiate with the Palestinians anymore?
He never had the intention to. He was never interested in it. I mean, now it's interesting that there was very tepid U.S. pressure that was insufficient under the Obama administration to try to get them to take the peace process seriously, and they found every way around it and every excuse not to really engage seriously. And at this point, with the Trump administration basically giving them full endorsement, not just with Jerusalem, but with settlement expansion, with threatening to cut aid to Palestinian refugees and so on, clearly whatever vision Trump has about peace essentially boils down to that they want to pressure the Palestinians to deliver them to whatever terms that Netanyahu wants to impose on them. And that's just not going to be a recipe for a long-term peace agreement. And certainly nobody is interested in engaging in any kind of negotiations under these circumstances.
And how much was Netanyahu's speech today about appealing to the domestic audience back home and taking the heat off?
I think a great deal, because Donald Trump is immensely popular in Israel, and given the fact that Netanyahu is dealing with this corruption scandal of his own, he can't do much about the legal front. That's going to play itself out. But in terms of his popularity in Israel, if you listen to the speech, a big part of it was just an infomercial for Israel, talking about what great relationship he has with Donald Trump and so on. And I think this is all meant to shore up public support for him at a very difficult personal time for him. So I think that definitely a huge part of it was for domestic consumption in Israel. But again, the Iran part, I think, is the part that should be worrying for everyone, is whether that actually ends up escalating towards a confrontation, be it in Lebanon, Syria, or in Gaza, or anywhere else, to try to distract from the problems that they're dealing with internally.
Omar Baddar in Washington, thank you very much.